Time froze. My heart slammed against my ribs like a bass drum. Emily's hand was shaking tight around something I couldn't see yet. Every second felt stretched, like the world was holding its breath. Her eyes weren't just staring, they were burning straight through me. I wanted to scream, to run, to do anything, but my body wouldn't obey. I could feel the air thick, heavy, like it was laughing at me. Every kid in class looked normal, clueless, chatting and giggling, but I knew something insane was about to go down. My chest was tight, my stomach flipping like I'd just jumped off a cliff. The tension hit so hard I thought I'd snap in half. Amelia and Emily weren't always enemies, believe it or not. Back in middle school, they were tight, ride or die besties, like peanut butter and jelly. They shared snacks, secrets, even swapped diaries, like it was some sacred ritual Emily used to have Amelia's back through every dumb drama in school. But somewhere along the line, shit got messy and trust started cracking. It started small. Emily started keeping secrets, little lies at first. Amelia caught wind of whispers, rumors, stuff that didn't sit right. She confronted Emily face to face, but Emily just laughed it off. You're tripping, Am, she said, all smug like it was a joke. Amelia felt the first real crack in their friendship. Something dark had crept in. Emily got obsessed with status, always comparing herself to Amelia. She wanted more attention, more likes, more praise for everything Amelia did. Every compliment Amelia got felt like a knife to Emily's ego. Little digs, cold smirks, side comments, they piled up like a storm. Amelia tried to ignore it, but inside she was simmering too. Even so, Amelia kept giving Emily chances. She defended her in front of teachers, covered her back when drama hit, but Emily started disappearing for days, ghosting Amelia without a word. One day, Amelia called her out, furious, and Emily just smirked, walked away. That smirk haunted Amelia. It wasn't innocent, it was calculated. Then came the first major betrayal. They were partnered on a project side by side like old times. Emily suddenly snapped, tossing Amelia's work across the room. No warning, no apology, just pure rage simmering under her calm facade. Amelia stared, stunned, realizing Emily had changed into someone unrecognizable. After that, Emily started whispering rumors behind Amelia's back. Nothing huge, just enough to make people doubt Amelia's character. Amelia found out from a text sent by some random kid. The betrayal hit like a gut punch. Emily was gone, replaced by a schemer. Amelia realized she had to watch her back because Emily wasn't playing around. But even then, Emily dropped little flashes of the old friendship. Sometimes she'd smile at Amelia like nothing was wrong, like they were still tight. Amelia wanted to believe it, but deep down, she knew better. Those flashes were bait, messing with her head, making her question everything. Amelia started piecing it together. This was deliberate, not random. The tension built every single day. Classroom glances, hallway whispers, little jabs in group work. Amelia couldn't trust anyone, not even the kids she thought were her friends. Emily's envy wasn't subtle, it was like a shadow stalking her everywhere. Amelia started feeling cornered, but she refused to show weakness. They were forced together at lunch one day. Emily laughed at a joke Amelia didn't even make. Her smirk was sharp, slicing through Amelia like a blade. Funny, huh? Emily said, eyes glinting with something dangerous. Amelia forced a smile, nodding, but inside she was ticking like a bomb. The fights got worse, subtle at first, then straight up savage. Emily started sabotaging Amelia's stuff, tripping her in the hall, messing with assignments. Amelia knew the betrayal was intentional now, and it stung worse than a slap. She started planning her own moves, keeping an eye on Emily like a hawk. Something big was coming. Amelia could feel it in her bones. Even with all the chaos, some part of Amelia missed their old bond. She remembered sleepovers, shared secrets, and the laughter that once defined them. But reality was brutal. Emily had turned venomous, and Amelia couldn't ignore it. Every glance from Emily now was loaded, every word a potential trap. And deep down, Amelia knew the storm wasn't over. It was just getting started. Emily had changed, but the world around them didn't notice yet. Teachers saw nothing. Other kids saw nothing. Everyone was blind. Only Amelia could sense the darkness brewing beneath that calm, pretty face, and she knew sooner or later it was gonna hit hard. But the real question, would she survive it when it did? Amelia started noticing Emily's moves, and damn, it was Seuss's hell. Every smirk, every glance, every little laugh, it was calculated AF. Amelia's gut was screaming, something's about to blow up. But how the hell do you play someone who's always 3 steps ahead? She felt cornered like a cat in a room full of pit bulls. Emily started leaving little hints around like she was trolling hard. Sticky notes, doodles, random crap in their shared books. Some looked chill, others were straight up shady AF. Amelia's chest tightened every time she peeped one. It was like Emily was playing 4D chess, and Amelia was stuck in check. They were sitting in class side by side, and Emily leaned close, whispered something that made Amelia's stomach do somersaults. A tiny smirk, just a flicker, but heavy with danger. Amelia didn't know whether to flip out or just dip. Fists clenched under the desk, counting seconds like a damn timer. Emily started showing up everywhere Amelia went. No cap library, caf, even the bathroom, like she had eyes on every corner. Other kids didn't notice the tension, but Amelia felt it heavy. She tried acting chill, but inside, she was wired like a busted circuit. Every step felt like stepping on a trap she couldn't see. One day, Amelia caught Emily messing with her locker, straight savage. Nothing stolen, just some low key tampering to freak her out. Amelia froze, heart pounding. Was it a test or straight up warning? Emily didn't even dip, just leaned, watching with a sick grin. Her smirk screamed, I run this game, you're just playing. Amelia tried talking once, keeping it real. Yo, why you gotta be like this? She asked, voice low. Emily tilted her head, eyes like knives. You already know, she said, all casual, but sharp as hell. Amelia bounced, shaking, feeling like she just walked through a minefield. Rumors started flying, low-key, sly as hell. Some kids picked sides, others just watched the drama unfold. Amelia noticed her squad shrinking, Emily's influence creeping. Even friends who tried neutral got sucked into her orbit. It was like a slow choke. Emily pulling the strings, Emily started leaving personal stuff lying around. Shady AF. Photos, notes, stuff that dug at Amelia's brain. Amelia couldn't tell if it was trolling or just torment heart racing every time she found one, like someone lit a fire under her. Emily was escalating, and Amelia had no clue how far it would go. During group work, Emily was straight up sabotaging her. Assignments missing, ideas twisted, classmates whispering doubts. Amelia felt like she was losing it, like she was in a gaslight zone. Emily smiled like she'd won some private trophy, and Amelia's brain screamed, this isn't random, it's war. Amelia started journaling, writing every shady move, times, dates, what Emily said, every micro expression, logged. Proof wasn't enough to calm her, but it was ammo. She knew Emily was next level scheming, and Amelia had to be sharper. Every entry felt like prepping for a fight she didn't want but had to face. One hallway bump hit different. Emily accidentally knocked her books. Other kids laughed, thought it was chill, but Amelia knew the tea. Emily's eyes flashed deadly for a sec before flipping innocent. Amelia picked up her stuff, heart pounding like a bass drop. She realized Emily was creeping harder than ever, like a shadow she couldn't shake. Emily started recruiting others, planting seeds sly AF. Don't trust her? She's shady? Stuff said like casual chat but poison. Amelia's circle shrank. People pulled away like she had the plague. Isolation hit slow and heavy. Emily orchestrating every move. Amelia knew the battlefield wasn't one on one anymore. Home wasn't safe either. Amelia started seeing Emily everywhere. Street corners, passing cars, random glimpses, eyes on her constantly. Even her own house didn't feel like a zone free of Emily. Every day was a tightrope with a sniper lurking somewhere. She had to stay sharp or get caught slippin'. Emily finally said something that made Amelia freeze cold. Casual, playful, but the threat hit like a hammer. Don't worry, you're mine, she said, like claiming the whole battlefield. Amelia's hands shook, but she didn't flinch. Couldn't give her that deep down. She knew it wasn't just jealousy. This was full on war. Amelia tried talking once, keeping it real. Yo, why you gotta be like this? She asked, voice low. Emily tilted her head, eyes like knives. You already know, she said, all casual, but sharp as hell. Amelia bounced, shaking, feeling like she just walked through a minefield. Rumors started flying. Low-key, sly as hell. Some kids picked sides, others just watched the drama unfold. Amelia noticed her squad shrinking, Emily's influence creeping. Even friends who tried neutral got sucked into her orbit. It was like a slow choke, Emily pulling the strings. Emily started leaving personal stuff lying around. Shady AF. Photos, notes, stuff that dug at Amelia's brain. Amelia couldn't tell if it was trolling or just torment. Heart racing every time she found one, like someone lit a fire under her. Emily was escalating, and Amelia had no clue how far it would go. During group work, Emily was straight up sabotaging her. Assignments missing, ideas twisted, classmates whispering doubts. Amelia felt like she was losing it, like she was in a gaslight zone. Emily smiled like she'd won some private trophy, and Amelia's brain screamed, This isn't random, it's war. Amelia started journaling, writing every shady move, times, dates, what Emily said, every micro expression, logged. Proof wasn't enough to calm her, but it was ammo. She knew Emily was next level scheming, and Amelia had to be sharper. Every entry felt like prepping for a fight she didn't want but had to face. One hallway bump hit different. Emily accidentally knocked her books. Other kids laughed, thought it was chill, but Amelia knew the tea. Emily's eyes flashed deadly for a sec before flipping innocent. Amelia picked up her stuff, heart pounding like a bass drop. She realized Emily was creeping harder than ever, like a shadow she couldn't shake. Emily started recruiting others, planting seeds sly AF. Don't trust her? She's shady. Stuff said like casual chat, but poison. Amelia's circle shrank. People pulled away like she had the plague isolation hit. Slow and heavy. Emily orchestrating every move. Amelia knew the battlefield wasn't one on one anymore. Home wasn't safe either. Amelia started seeing Emily everywhere. Street corners, passing cars, random glimpses, eyes on her constantly. Even her own house didn't feel like a zone free of Emily. Every day was a tightrope with a sniper lurking somewhere. She had to stay sharp or get caught slipping. Emily finally said something that made Amelia freeze cold. Casual, playful, but the threat hit like a hammer. Don't worry, you're mine, she said, like claiming the whole battlefield. Amelia's hand shook, but she didn't flinch. Couldn't give her that. Deep down, she knew it wasn't just jealousy. This was full on war. The next day in class, Emily's energy was different, more focused. Amelia could feel it, like the air got heavier just walking in. Emily was smirking, but it wasn't playful, it was predatory. Amelia kept her head down, but something screamed danger. And then she saw it, the glint of a small bottle in Emily's hand. Time froze like a damn movie. Amelia's stomach dropped like a rock in her chest. Emily's hand was shaking, but steady enough to aim. Her eyes weren't angry. They were something else entirely, cold as ice. Amelia couldn't scream, couldn't move, just stared as the second stretched. The bottle tipped, liquid catching the light. Thick, yellow, deadly. Amelia's instincts kicked in. She flipped her desk just in time. The splash hit the floor, steaming and hissing, filling the room with a rotten smell. Kids screamed, slipping and sliding, chaos everywhere. But Emily didn't run. She just stood there, staring like it was satisfying. Amelia's heart was racing, chest pounding like a war drum. Her eyes locked on Emily, and she realized something terrifying. This wasn't a one off. Someone else had told Emily to do this. A backpack hit the floor, revealing more bottles, lined up like weapons, and a note. Four words written in some unfamiliar handwriting. Make sure she burns. The classroom was a madhouse now. Kids screaming and sliding. Amelia ducked behind a desk, grabbing her phone, shaking. Emily didn't flinch, just whispered, low and venomous. You shouldn't have seen that. Amelia's brain scrambled. Who else was involved and how far did it go? The tension was thick enough to choke on. Amelia realized she had no backup. Nobody could help right now. The teacher had bolted, screaming like a banshee, leaving chaos behind. Emily's eyes were on her, calculating, predatory, like she was savoring it. Every second dragged like an eternity. Amelia trapped in this nightmare. And in that instant, she knew she had to think fast, or get wrecked. The cops finally rolled in, sirens screaming like a movie scene. Amelia felt her stomach drop, half relief, half terror. She thought maybe this nightmare would finally get handled. But as soon as they stepped in, shit got weird real fast. Emily didn't flinch, just stared like she was untouchable. Detectives fired questions, pens scribbling like crazy. Amelia spilled every detail, hands shaking but voice steady-ish. Every shady glance, every weird note, every whisper from Emily. The cops nodded, but something about their expressions felt off. It was like they already knew more than they let on. Emily sat there smirking, quiet but dangerous as hell. Every question made her grin sharper, like she was owning the room. Amelia's chest tightened. This girl wasn't just a problem, she was a predator. One detective whispered to another, and Amelia caught the tension. She realized this was bigger than school drama. It was a full on threat. They brought out Emily's backpack, three bottles perfectly lined up. The note stared up at everyone, proof Amelia had hoped for. But Emily didn't flinch, didn't crack, just watched, calm as hell. Her stare made Amelia want to scream. Why are you so cold? The detectives gasped low at the handwriting. This wasn't fully Emily's, someone else's fingerprints were all over the note. One detective muttered, "This isn't just a kid fight." Amelia froze, chest tightening. Who else was involved? Emily's smirk widened like she knew something Amelia didn't. Forensic experts swabbed the bottles, taking samples carefully. Traces of another chemical appeared, something unfamiliar, more lethal. One detective's face went pale. This wasn't just school stuff. Amelia's heart raced. She hadn't realized the depth of danger. Emily just leaned back, still grinning, untouchable, calm as ice. Then the acid incident came into sharp focus. Amelia's flip of the desk had saved her, but the floor had melted fast. The fumes were toxic, the room a chaotic mess of screaming kids. Emily didn't run. She just stared, satisfied like it was her masterpiece. Amelia realized this wasn't random. Someone was telling Emily what to do. The backpack hit the floor, revealing more bottles and a folded note. Four words in unfamiliar handwriting. "Make sure she burns." Amelia's gut twisted. This wasn't just Emily's game anymore. The cops exchanged looks, suddenly aware this was serious AF. Emily's calm stare made Amelia shiver. This was bigger than anyone imagined. The detectives pulled security footage, and Amelia's jaw dropped. Emily wasn't alone in the hallways. Someone else was shadowing her moves, passing notes, whispering instructions, hidden in plain sight. The face was mostly concealed, but the vibe screamed dangerous. Amelia realized she had stepped into something far beyond school drama. They checked Emily's phone and laptop, encrypted messages everywhere, codes, numbers, dates, instructions, locations, all pointing to someone outside school. Amelia's eyes widened. This was coordinated, not just random chaos. Emily smirked like she owned the place, calm as if nothing could touch her. Amelia's chest burned. Who else was pulling the strings? Forensics came back. Chemical in the bottles wasn't classroom grade industrial level, strong enough to cause real damage. Amelia felt bile rise. This wasn't a prank anymore. Someone seriously meant business, and Emily was just the face of it. The cops looked grim, realizing the school had barely seen the iceberg. Other students were questioned, many scared to speak. Emily's manipulation had spread like wildfire. Even adults were blindsided. Amelia felt isolated, like the battlefield had shrunk to just her and Emily. Every glance from Emily was loaded with intent. Every smirk a threat. Amelia knew she was running out of safe zones fast. One detective leaned in, low voice to Amelia. "Kid, you're in deeper than you know. Be careful." Amelia's chest tightened. How much deeper could it get? Emily's smirk widened, like she had the whole board in her hands. And Amelia knew the worst part hadn't even shown up yet. The next day, Amelia got called back to the station. She felt her stomach flip. This was no ordinary school mess anymore. Detectives wanted to show her something, face grim as hell. Emily sat quietly in the corner, smirking like she'd already won. Amelia hated that feeling, like she was already two steps behind. They pulled up more footage, this time from outside the school shadowy figures, hooded, moving with purpose, always near Emily. Amelia's jaw dropped. These weren't random kids messing around. Someone had been orchestrating Emily's moves, and it wasn't small time. The cops muttered, "We might be looking at a serious crew here." Then they started tracing the encrypted messages from Emily's phone. Numbers, codes, strange usernames, links to accounts Amelia had never seen. Every click revealed more: maps, dates, chemical sources, and locations. Amelia felt like she was falling down a rabbit hole that had no bottom. Emily just leaned back, arms crossed, calm as if she owned it all. The detectives traced one of the messages to a burner phone. It pinged somewhere outside the city, far from the school's jurisdiction. Amelia's stomach sank. Someone big was behind this. Emily didn't even flinch. Her smirk said she knew more than anyone there. Amelia realized the real threat wasn't just Emily anymore. It was whoever was calling shots. Cops dug into Emily's home life, her parents' history. Turns out her dad had worked in a lab. Shady AF, no questions asked. Strange purchases, chemicals shipped under weird names, nothing traceable. Amelia felt bile rise. This wasn't high school petty jealousy anymore. It was a full on operation, and Emily was just the tip of the iceberg. They brought in Emily's classmates, kids who had been around her. Some were terrified, others evasive, avoiding eye contact like scared cats. Amelia realized Emily had been planting fear long before the acid incident. Everyone was too scared to say anything, making it easy for Emily to manipulate. The cops shook their heads, realizing the influence ran deeper than they thought. Forensics came back with another shocker: fingerprints from someone else. A kid? Nah. An adult? Maybe. Someone with real experience handling chemicals. Amelia's mind raced. How many layers were there? And Emily's smirk said it all. She was untouchable until someone above her slipped. Amelia realized this wasn't just school beef. It was a full-blown setup. The detectives mentioned Emily's social media, another gold mine of weird activity. Accounts that didn't match her age, posts disappearing fast, coded messages. Amelia's stomach dropped. Someone was monitoring every move online. Emily wasn't just dangerous in person, she had a whole digital network. Amelia felt trapped, like she was walking blind into a spider web. Then came a lead nobody expected. Emily had been buying chemicals online. Not just the small stuff, industrial grade shipments, carefully packaged. The receipts traced back to shady suppliers with fake names. Amelia couldn't believe it. This was premeditated chaos at another level. And Emily? Sitting calm as if she'd rehearsed every moment. Detectives tried to trace the handwriting from the note. Nothing solid. But one expert noticed tiny differences, suggesting multiple people wrote it. Amelia's stomach sank. Emily had a crew trained enough to handle dangerous chemicals, moving under the radar. This wasn't just her friend gone rogue. This was a planned assault on her life. They dug into Emily's school records, past incidents, rumors no one cared about. Patterns emerged: manipulation, intimidation, little acts escalating over months. Amelia realized it had been building long before the acid ever came into play. The cops were starting to piece it together, but the full picture was insane. Emily's calm smirk didn't help. It was terrifyingly knowing. Amelia felt herself shrinking in the room. Too many unknowns. Who else was involved? How many layers of manipulation? The cops whispered among themselves, talking about calling in cybercrime units. Amelia realized this wasn't a school case anymore. It was something bigger, and Emily was at the center, untouchable, calculating every move. One detective pulled Amelia aside, voice low, serious. Kid, whatever you do, don't trust anyone outside this room. Amelia's chest tightened. She realized allies were scarce. Every glance from Emily reminded her this girl had eyes everywhere. The real danger wasn't over yet, and Amelia felt it creeping closer. The forensic lab called back. Something huge just came in. Traces of the chemical were found in a shipment outside the city. Someone had been stockpiling, planning something way beyond the school. Amelia's stomach flipped. This was bigger than she could have imagined. Emily's smirk widened, like she'd already planned the next move. Cops looked at Amelia, concerned and a little freaked. This isn't just a school case anymore, one said, voice low. Amelia nodded, chest tightening. She. Amelia left the station that night, stomach twisted like a pretzel. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number, no name, just a message. You're next. Her heart skipped a beat. Was it Emily? Someone else? She froze, realizing the nightmare wasn't confined to school. Somebody out there wanted her scared, and they were good at it. Next morning, the cafeteria felt different. Thick, heavy, like the air was charged. Emily was there, casual as hell, smirking at Amelia like she owned the place. Every glance, every whisper felt like a trap waiting to snap. Amelia kept her head down, trying not to draw attention. But she knew Emily wasn't done flexing her power. Detectives called Amelia again. New footage arrived from a nearby store. Emily had been seen meeting someone, hooded, dropping off a package. Amelia felt her stomach sink. This wasn't a lone wolf situation anymore. The cops whispered, this might be bigger than a single student. Amelia's mind raced. How many people were in on this? At school, Emily escalated subtly, knocking Amelia's books, smirking, whispering threats. Kids around them were scared, unsure whether to intervene. Amelia felt isolated, like everyone was either scared or part of Emily's game. Every glance from Emily was loaded, every smirk a promise of trouble. Amelia realized she was trapped in a chess match she didn't fully understand. Then came a weird discovery. Emily had been leaving coded messages around the school, sticky notes, sketches, even doodles in textbooks. Some were cryptic, some outright threatening, but all pointed towards someone else. Amelia felt like she was watching a play unfold that she wasn't ready for. The cops were starting to see it too, piecing together the bigger plan. Emily started recruiting quietly, whispering to classmates, making alliances. Don't trust her? She's shady. Casual lines, but deadly. Amelia noticed her circle shrinking. Friends who used to have her back pulled away. Isolation hit her like a punch, but Amelia refused to fold. Every move from Emily was methodical, calculated to make her feel trapped. Then one day, Amelia caught Emily with a suspicious package near the science lab. It was small, wrapped, like something meant to be hidden. Amelia froze, gut twisting, realizing Emily was still plotting. She couldn't see the contents, but instinct screamed danger. Emily smirked, calm as hell, like she knew Amelia was watching. Detectives traced the package. Turns out it was linked to an industrial supplier, not something a kid should have access to, ever. Amelia felt bile rise. This wasn't about school pranks anymore. Someone bigger was pulling strings, giving Emily resources. And Emily? Sitting pretty, smirking, untouchable. The cops started pulling digital trails from Emily's burner accounts, encrypted chats, coded instructions, financial transactions, all pointing to someone outside. Amelia realized the scale of the operation. Emily was just the face of it. Every smirk, every note, every glance, part of a bigger plan she barely understood, and she felt the walls closing in tighter with every passing day. One of the detectives leaned in, voice low, serious as hell. Kid, whoever's behind this isn't just some teen messing around. You need to stay sharp. Don't trust anyone, not even your friends. Amelia felt panic spike. She realized she was swimming in dangerous waters. Emily's eyes flicked at her, calculating, daring her to slip. Then forensic labs called back. More chemicals had been traced to someone else, not random kids. Someone skilled, experienced, had been training Emily. Amelia's stomach dropped. This was a full on operation. Emily wasn't just jealous or dangerous, she had backup, and they were organized, patient, and methodical. Emily upped the ante at school. Public jabs, subtle sabotage, whispered threats. Amelia felt the pressure, knowing one wrong move could blow everything. Everyone around her seemed unsure, scared, or too intimidated to help. Emily had turned the school into her playground, everyone else pawns. Amelia realized she needed a plan. Fast. The cops pulled in financial records from online chemical suppliers. Emily had been buying industrial grade stuff under fake accounts. It was premeditated, organized, way beyond what Amelia had imagined. Every shipment, every receipt, every code pointed to someone higher up. Amelia felt trapped. She was up against a mastermind network. Then came the revelation that shook Amelia to her core. One of Emily's messages mentioned a name she didn't recognize. Not a student, not a teacher, someone outside pulling the strings. Amelia felt the walls closing in. This game wasn't just Emily versus her anymore. It was a full blown conspiracy, and she was stuck in the middle. Emily's smirk grew wider, almost playful, like she knew Amelia was panicking. Her calm, calculating demeanor was terrifying, untouchable. Amelia's chest tightened. She realized the real war had barely begun. Every step, every glance, every word froze. Amelia didn't sleep that night. She just stared at her ceiling, replaying every word. That name from the message burned into her brain like neon. Whoever it was, they weren't some random dude online. Emily wasn't smart enough to build a whole operation alone. Someone had built her into a weapon. Next morning, Amelia checked her phone. 3 missed calls from an unknown number. No voicemail, no text, just silence. She felt her chest tighten like a fist was closing around her ribs. This wasn't random harassment. They were watching her every move. Emily walked past her in school, whispering, "Tick tock." The cops called her in again. This time, with serious energy, they'd traced a payment linked to one of the chemical orders. Not a teen card, but a corporate account under a fake company name. Amelia's jaw dropped. This was big. And the detective said, "Kid, this is organized crime level, not teenage drama." They showed her a blurry security shot. Emily with a tall figure, face blocked. The dude was handing her something small, wrapped, like a flash drive. Emily didn't look scared. She looked loyal. Amelia felt a chill. Emily wasn't just being manipulated. She was following orders. That meant this wasn't personal for Emily. It was a mission. Back at school, weird stuff kept happening around Amelia. Her locker was trashed. Nothing stolen, just wrecked. A sticky note inside, "You talk, you burn." Kids avoided eye contact. They were scared of getting dragged into the war. Emily watched from across the hall, smiling like it was all a joke. That night, Amelia checked her bag and found a USB drive she didn't put there. There was no note, just the device sitting like a trap. She stared at it, fingers shaking. Should she plug it in? If it was from Emily, it could be dangerous. But if it wasn't, it might be the only lead she had. She took it to the detectives the next morning. Smart move. Their tech guy plugged it in, and everyone went dead silent. Encrypted folders, hidden files, message logs, but not Emily's. The messages were from someone calling themselves Silver, and every message was about Amelia. One text hit like a punch. "She survives test 1. Prepare next step." Amelia's throat went dry. Test 1? Was the acid attack just a warm up? Emily wasn't acting alone. She was following a playbook. Another message mentioned a date. Next Friday. That was 5 days away. Stage 2, it said. Bigger, public, no mistakes. Amelia's blood went ice cold. Whatever was coming wasn't subtle. The detectives looked shaken. This wasn't just about her anymore. The cops scrambled, contacting other departments, maybe even federal. Amelia saw panic in hardened officers' eyes. That said everything. This wasn't a teen beef. It was a planned assault with serious resources. Emily, acting like she was the main character in a movie, Amelia felt she was running out of time. Fast. That afternoon, she saw Emily laughing with three new kids she'd never spoken to before. They weren't normal students. Cold eyes, quiet, too aware of everything. Emily introduced them like they were old friends. But the energy was off. Amelia swore one of them scanned the exits like security detail. This wasn't a friend group, it was a team. Amelia pulled one of Emily's old friends aside, someone who used to be neutral. The girl whispered, voice shaking, "She's not the same anymore. Someone changed her." She glanced around like she expected someone listening. "She used to talk about being invisible. Now she wants to erase you." Amelia realized Emily didn't want attention. She wanted a legacy. That night, Amelia got another anonymous text. "You should have reported her the first time." She dropped the phone. How did they know that? Only Emily knew about her first failed attempt. Someone was watching both of them. Closely. The next morning, police protection showed up outside her house. Unmarked car, plainclothes officers, but Emily saw them. She waved at them like she knew their names. Amelia watched through the window, feeling sick. Emily wasn't scared of the police. She was comfortable. And just when Amelia thought it couldn't get worse, her mom got a call from the school saying Amelia was suspended. Reason? Threatening behavior toward another student. Emily flipped the narrative. Amelia felt the world tilt. She was being erased from the inside. The second Emily walked into the interrogation room, she acted like she owned it. No handcuffs, no panic, just that same dead eyed confidence she had when she uncapped the bottle in class, like she was still in control. I watched from behind the one way glass, stomach twisting. This wasn't jealousy anymore. She looked calm, almost proud, like she wanted to watch the world burn and take credit. Detective Price slammed a stack of evidence in front of her: fingerprints, receipts, digital logs. She skimmed it like a menu. "That's not mine." Her voice wasn't scared, it was bored. "That's what terrified me. She didn't care if we caught her? She was playing?" Price leaned in. "Bottle had your nail scratches. Gloves in your locker are stained. And the texts? We have everything." Emily blinked once, then smiled. "You think I did this by myself?" My heart dropped. If she wasn't alone? Who helped her? Price pushed for names. She said nothing. Arms crossed, waiting like someone would yell, "Cut!" Then she whispered, "You're already too late. It's moving without me." Price froze. His jaw twitched. A silent panic. 2 minutes later, an officer rushed in. Suddenly, the whole station exploded into movement. Radios screaming, printers firing, cops sprinting. Something big had just been confirmed. They moved Emily to holding. No cuffs. She walked out smiling like she won. I went home thinking it was finished. I was wrong. At 3:13 a.m., I got a text from an unknown number. "You should have let it happen." No name, no threat, just a warning. The second I read it, I knew it wasn't just her. Next morning, detectives called me back. Voices tense. When I arrived, Price didn't even sit. He handed me a printout. It was a photo of me taken yesterday. Same clothes, same backpack, Same street I walked home on. Someone had been watching me. They traced the number. Burner phone cash purchased. Gone seconds later. Whoever sent it knew exactly what they were doing. Price looked exhausted when he said it. This wasn't jealousy. This was organized. Emily had researched acid, fake accounts, encrypted apps for months. She never used her own phone. She'd built an entire system around destroying me. They cracked one of her chats. First message, 8 months ago. How do you erase a girl safely? Erase. She didn't want to ruin me. She wanted me gone. There were three usernames in that chat. Only one was Emily's. The other two are still unknown. They found screenshots of my schedule, timestamps of when I walked alone, maps of my routes. They weren't improvising, they were hunting. 2 days later, Emily finally broke. Not crying, just tired. She admitted one thing: she wasn't the mastermind she was recruited. Someone told her I deserved it. Someone gave her the chemicals, the plan, every step. Her job was just to act. She never said who. Before they took her away, she laughed. You think she's safe because I failed? They always finish what they start. That was the last thing she ever said to me. She'll probably spend years locked up. But I still check my windows. I still jump when my phone buzzes. Because the scariest part isn't that she almost melted my face. It's knowing someone else wanted her to. And they're still out there. That's the truth. And I have to live with it.